Rosemary Noonan, is it?
Yeah.
My name is Rosemary Noonan. I'm a visual artist, a multidisciplined. I work mainly in oils, but I like to play around with different media. I had worked in corporate for 20 years, and I always wanted to be an artist. And after during lockdown, I was made redundant, and I was thinking actually leaving at the time, leaving my job, and especially after my second child, and my husband had a good job as a software developer. I thought I'd take the opportunity to do something I always wanted to do because I wasn't getting any younger. It's something that's can be very powerful for somebody, and very, like, especially when you're going through difficult times. So like, I think art can be a very powerful tool, and I think it's very important that, like, using clay, the movement of clay can be very therapeutic. The sway of the brush, especially with ink painting, and even doing oil painting and that, like, you are conscious about structure and whatever when you're doing but at the same time, when you get into the flow, it's kind of meditative, and you go on this journey when you're painting, and then you realize then that something's coming out of it, and I don't know, like, it's kind of euphoric when it happens. I find being an artist that, yeah, it can be very hard if only my husband is supporting me, and only if I was on my own, it'd be very hard to kind of sustain yourself. And I know, like, if other artists might take on extra jobs and stuff like that to kind of keep themselves going. And I've done courses mentoring with creative minds, and they said, like, it's kind of it's not like in HR you're kind of going up and up and up and up, and it's kind of there's different kind of stages to being an artist. You go up and you go down, and there might be times where you're not doing anything, or you're trying to find the next project to do, and what will inspire you and stuff like that. But, like, I find that it's more fulfilling than like processing someone's head count, or putting them in a different org structure, or that. There's a lot of meaning to it, whereas when you work in HR, you're saving money for the business. It's not really about the people. It isn't really about the people at all. It's about saving money for the business at the end of the day. Like, it is somewhat about the people, but it's really about the bottom line and saving costs for the company. Whereas when you work in art, when you're working in the art industry, you're doing something that's really meaningful, but really kind of, like, even if it's a commission of a deceased loved one, like that painting might mean something so much to them, because you capture an essence of them that you wouldn't capture in a photograph. And when I started doing the portraits, like, people would just tell me, their little quirks or what they did, and I try my best then to kind of emulate that in a painting. So I think that's really important, to emulate that, and rather than trying to copy the painting, but kind of get their expression or personality shine through the painting is really important. And, like, then doing the other stuff that I've done since, like, starting the portraits, there is, like, that even allows conversations to be talked about that people don't like to discuss, like, so, and I think that's very important, because people don't really talk about like issues of childbirth or miscarriage or pregnancy loss, or you know, like, and having like an installation on women's health kind of raises those conversations. But because I don't think our AI itself would replace like natural like feeling that you'd get out of crafted rendered, even if it's digitally rendered. But like there's certain emotion that you would put it like, and when I say digitally, like drawing using a digital palette and stuff like that, like the Sinead O'Connor there was done in a digital palette, but like I had drawn that on a tablet, but it wasn't generated. It was I had drawn it like I would with charcoal or watercolor or whatever, like. But when it comes to like recreating something digitally, that's like for in a like I don't think they get the feeling. Like I've seen digital AI stuff, and there's no emotion in it really, or you know, feeling. And I think that's what AI can't replace human emotion. I don't know. I don't think it would. It's the satisfaction of kind of developing. It's like playing a piano or anything like that. It's just kind of keeping going at it. Sometimes if you give up on it, you haven't fully appreciated it. And I know of people who have given up art and then like are kind of feel lost, and you try and get them back into it, and then but you're better off kind of leaving them be and find their way back to it then at the end of the day as well. But I think it's important for like even myself. Like I just find like if I haven't had a creative period for a while, I get very down on myself and stuff. And then when I get back into my flow, I feel alive again. Don't ignore the self-doubt and the imposter syndrome. That's completely normal, and just create something. It doesn't have to be perfect, and just create something like that's meaningful to you. And I like you look back at your drawings, you might see like, oh God, but like at the same time then you see how far you've come. Like, you know, I know I said about the initial painting I had done of myself, but I've improved an awful lot. But yeah, I appreciate that painting because it was something I did at my very start of my art journey. So like, you know, there is pieces that you will be very proud of as well, because they brought you to where you are today. Like.